Marcus, and welcome to Abstract Essay, where ideas take shape, thoughts find depth, and every conversation explores the art of thinking beyond the obvious. And today I have my special guest. He is a rock guitarist, producer, and entertainer, 16 years sober, advocate for authenticity, recovery, and real music. None other than Mr. Ray Star.
Hello. How's it going, Daniel?
Welcome. Hello, Mr. Ray. Welcome on Abstract Essay. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Well, my name is Ray Star, and yeah, I am. I wear many hats, I guess, these days. I'm a guitarist. I'm a touring musician. I'm a session player. I'm a producer, music producer. I'm also an executive producer on a mini series, and I'm also a promotions director on a music TV show. Um, and of course, I also I also work with people, helping them turn their lives around because I'm a psychic. So that's basically me in a nutshell of what I do.
Psychic.
Yeah.
Yes, psychic indeed, Mr. Ray Star. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And today, let's talk about from rock bottom to rock stages. Tell us, the phrase rock bottom means something different for to everyone. Can you describe what your personal rock bottom look and, more importantly, felt like?
Well, I mean, I don't like to get into war stories too much, but the bottom line is I'm not terminally unique. I'm pretty. Uh, let's put it this way. I'm not the first musician to end up going down. It's a very common thing, unfortunately. You know, I got exposed to uh, some terrible things. Like no addict becomes an addict overnight. Most addicts had some trauma in their lives, like myself included. And we didn't know how to deal with it at a young age, and so then I found my escape in drugs and. I got exposed to, like I said, I got exposed to it at a very young age, and it escalated very quickly. And then I got into an industry which we all know, rock and roll. It's it kind of comes for the territory, and unfortunately, it took me down pretty bad, pretty hard, um, to a point where not only could I not function as a musician, I couldn't function as a human being. It got a hold of me. It starts off always the same way. It's an escape and a little bit fun, and all of a sudden, it starts owning you before you get to own it. And it brought me to the skids. I ended up homeless at one point. All because of addiction. And one of the things that I do now is I luckily I got some help for that, and it's been a process, that's for sure. Yes, I'm 16 years clean, but it took me 10 years to get that 16 years. So I was in and out of recovery. Well, I've been around it for like 26 years. But unfortunately, the bottom just kept getting worse and worse and worse till it finally got to a point where I had to actually surrender. You know what I mean? Like just give up and then go, okay, man, you know what? I'll do whatever you guys tell me to do. And so at that point, that's when my life started to change, and I'm grateful as heck. I mean, it brought the music back into my life because that's where it's supposed to be. And now my biggest motivation is trying to inspire others to do the same.
An inspiration, Mr. Ray. What was the specific moment, thought, or event that served as the catalyst making you decide that is taking or staying at rock bottom was no longer an option?
Well, for those that aren't addicts, they don't understand, but basically, you get to a point where you don't want to live anymore. But you you want to die, but at the same time, you're too scared to commit suicide. And I had numerous tragedies happen, like overdoses and what have you. There wasn't one specific event that changed everything for me, but well, I guess there was, but there came to a point where I couldn't do it anymore, because that's how far addiction took me down. And I realized real quick here, that if I kept going, I'm going to end up in one of three places: jail, which I did at one point. I got arrested many a times, or death. I did that too. I died on a table, which it's very scary, but that's where addiction takes you, or mental institutions. That's your only three choices, right? And I realized I couldn't live the life I was living anymore, and so I decided to finally get help, accept the help, I guess is a better way to put it. And that's when my life changed.
And congratulations, Mr. Ray. Congratulations for choosing the right path.
And thank you.
In absolute darkness, at what low point was there even a tiny fleeting glimmer of hope or memory of former passion that you latched onto?
Well, I mean, there's all the things that, like addiction takes everything from you, right? So you always got memories of people that, you care about, family, friends, uh, obviously the music that I used to do, that was always playing in the back of my mind. But once addiction gets a hold of you, that's the only thing that is on your mind 24/7, is how do I get more and how do I use more? You lose the power of choice. You completely lose the power of choice. So it's not like when you see someone struggling on the street or going through horrible addictions, that's someone's brother, that's someone's sister, that's someone's mother. And it's like, why don't you just stop? It's not that easy. You can't just go, hey, why don't you think it out of it? Because you're trying to figure your way out of addiction with the same brain that put you in that position. It's pretty powerful stuff.
How did you begin to shift your identity? Yes. So, how did you begin your shift, your identity from someone defined by their circumstances to someone working toward purpose? What did you have to believe about yourself that you did not before?
That I can't do it anymore. I mean, I came to in a hospital bed. I had a bunch of stuff glued to my chest, heart monitors and stuff like this. And I remember really distinctly, a doctor came in and he looked at my chart on the end of the bed, and he looked back at me with disgust because I've been in and out of that hospital so many times because of overdoses and what have you. And he just said to me, he wasn't a nice guy. He just said to me, look, you piece of, you know what? If you're going to kill yourself, just fricking do it, because you're taking up the bed if someone could really use it. And then he threw me a pamphlet of Narcotics Anonymous. And that that was a big turning point for me. Um, I'm like, I can't go on like this anymore. I just can't. And so the help was always there. I was always trying to get the help, but the difference being is now I was actually willing to accept the help, whereas before I still had great ideas. I'm thinking I'm different than other people. Like, I'm a smart guy. I can figure this out, don't you know? And I had ideas in my head of I still wanted to live, right? So I looked for I looked to that, going, well, you know what? If I don't do something about it, I'm going to be dead. And realistically, I don't know how I didn't die. So I feel obviously there's a purpose why I'm still here. And that's why I make everything in my life about purpose. Like, I do a lot of things, but I don't do it because I'm like an egomaniac or something. I do it because I want to inspire others. Go, if that guy who's a no good junkie can turn around his life and accomplish all these amazing things, then maybe I got a shot at this too. So that's why I do what I do.
Again, we salute you. We're proud of you and empowering.
And thank you. I appreciate that.
The path up is never straight line, right?
No,
Can you share a story of a
I'm so,
significant setback
I'm
or
sorry. You're
ups on
breaking up
your
really
way
bad,
up
Daniel.
and how you navigate it without giving up? I would love to hear that.
I'm sorry, Daniel. You're breaking up really badly
Okay,
here.
I will repeat it again. We want to apologize for the breaking apologize people because yes, we are having a difficulties. We have glitch all over around us, but anyway, I hope it will resolve. And Mr. Bray, the path up is never a straight line. Can you share a
No.
story of significant setback or a place on your way up on how you navigate it without giving up?
Well, I mean, there is no great story. I was really that freaking broken where I was willing to accept the help, and I knew that you know I knew at a very very young age what I wanted to do in my life, and I have a defining moment. I was a kid. I was just turned 4 years old, and I'm watching TV with my dad. We had one channel back then. We grew up pretty poor, and anyway, there was a concert. It was the Kinks, and it was playing a festival. And it was in the '60s, and well, maybe early '70s actually. Now that I think about it, but anyway, there was like well over 150,000 people there. Like it was just a massive, massive crowd. And I pointed at the screen, and I pointed back at my dad, and I pointed back at the screen. I knew nothing in music. I didn't even know how to play a note, nothing. And I said, "That's what I want to do when I grow up." I just knew right then and there, and that's always been playing in the back of my head. Then like all through my childhood and everything, I was lucky enough that my father bought me my first guitar, and like I said, we grew up really poor, right? And unfortunately for me, I had to go through some tragedies in my life. My parents were great people, but unfortunately, there was a another family member that wasn't a great person, if you get my drift. And uh, they worked so much; they both worked like 3 jobs, so they were never home. I was a latchkey kid. I raised myself, and then I was dealing with abuse, and then I was also at when I was in school, I was getting the living heck beat out of me on a daily basis for other reasons. And so trying to process that as a kid, um, you don't know how to process that. So the best thing that ever happened to me was freaking music. I would take that guitar, and I'd fall into this little fantasy world, right? It was my escape from all the pain and abuse, because I never wanted to tell my parents about what was going on, because when came home from work, if they ever did, because they were both working so many jobs, they were just always stressed about money and everything else, and I'd have to hear about it all the time, and I didn't want to bring it up, my problems, because I thought I would just add to the pile of theirs, so I internalized it, and that's what basically was the precursor to me becoming an addict. But like I said, like I hid in my guitar, and the best things in life I've experienced with that guitar, and the worst things in life I've experienced with that guitar. But one thing's calm is music has always been there for me. It's always been there for me. And that's always what's kept me going. And I didn't realize at the time, but I do now. There's a definitely a spiritual aspect about music. It's the only thing that it truly can connect you to so many different people, and it comes to you through the universe. Like I don't create music. I don't sit there and go, "Hey, you know what? I'm a great songer. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to write a song." When I think like that, I write garbage. It's when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and go, "Holy crap, that's it!" It comes to me out of nowhere. that's when that's when I strike magic. And so that's what I found is like a lot a lot of musicians know how to channel that energy from the universe, and we can't describe it. None of us can describe it, but like it's definitely a gift, right? And so, you asked me what fished me out is like I'm not done here. When I was like facing death's door, I realized I'm not done here. There's a reason I'm still here. I should be dead. Technically, I should be dead. We should not be having this conversation right now. So I know that darn well I was given another chance. I was given actually a lot of chances. But the last time I'm like, no, there's a higher purpose for me being here. And now I know what it is. But before I didn't. But even in my darkest moments, that little glimmer of light was still there. You know what I mean? There's a reason I got to keep going here. Now I know what it is. I didn't at the time, but now I do. And the only purpose that I have is to help and inspire others. That's it. I do that, and everything else falls into place.
On Abstract Essay, Mr. Ray, we are supporting you 100% to be inspired by our future generation. What was the first smallest, most actionable step you took toward your goal when you had a barely any energy or hope left?
Well, my main concern was just to do whatever I had to get clean. I wasn't focused on music. As a matter of fact, when I first got clean, the last time when I got clean the last time, I didn't play music for a year and a half. I was scared to play music because if you know anything about the lifestyle, it's like you get loaded at rehearsal, you get loaded on the way to rehearsal, you get loaded on the way out of rehearsal, you get loaded on tour, you get loaded off a tour, you get loaded on the tour bus, you get loaded at the show. Like everything around music was around drugs and alcohol. And so I didn't know if I could be in that surroundings anymore. But the reason I told the story about when I was younger, about, discovering what music is when my head got clear, and it took time. It took a long time till I got into the right space. Like I said, I didn't play for the first year and a half. So when I got back to music, I remembered what it was like. I remember me being 4 years old and going, "Hey, I know what I want to do when I grow up." It was before, the typical. It was, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I knew nothing about that. I just knew I wanted to make music and I wanted to rock and roll. That was it. But as you get older, it becomes sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and then it became just sex and drugs, and in the end, it was just drugs. That's what defeated me.
Mr. Ray, tell us your single right now.
Uh, yeah, I
Ray
got
feeling. What is all about?
actually, that song is about the last time I used, and what was going through my mind and like trying to describe, basically, what like the chorus there is like, let me feel a feeling, right? Because I couldn't feel anymore. I was so numb from the drugs. I wanted to feel anything. I couldn't feel angry. I couldn't feel happy. I couldn't feel sad. I couldn't feel anything. I was just numb. And that's what drugs do to you, unfortunately. And that's what that song's about. I got a new single I'm going to be dropping here pretty soon too, coming out shortly, um, which I'm going to be releasing on September 26th, I believe, is the day it's going to be dropping. And also, I have a side project as well, which is a band called Death and Sons. And we are a super group, if you will. Every one of us comes from bigger bands, and we came together and we did a three. Well, we're going to be dropping some singles here coming up. We recorded at the Armory Studios, where Bon Jovi and AC/DC recorded, and we were engineered by Danny Craig of Default, and we were mixed by Fab down in LA. He works with Alice Cooper and Zach Wild and Slash, and then we got mastered by Pete down in LA, and Pete does everything for Lady Gaga, and he did James Brown and Leonard Skinnerd, and so we're really happy with the final product. It's pretty awesome. So I got a lot of things coming out this month. That um, well, the Death and Sons will be coming out in October. My stuff is going to be coming out. My single is going to be dropping at the end of the September, and pretty excited about all that.
Good luck, good luck. Your for more success. And what is the single most lesson from your journey of life in the field? Yes.
I'm sorry you were breaking up very badly again. I apologize. I couldn't hear you.
No worries. What is the single most important lesson? So, what is the lesson from your job important to any field? Yes, for me. It's breaking again. So, people, we
Yeah,
want to apologize for the glitch.
yeah.
And
There we go.
again, Mr. Ray, what is the single most important lesson from your journey that applies to anyone in the field or in any field, not just music?
Well, I mean, the whole purpose is to show, hey, like there's if you can dream it, you can achieve it. It's that simple, you know. Um, there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you can't do. Anybody, you know. I think the biggest gift I ever got from getting clean is being the ability to do and be myself, and I see that and happen with others that get clean too. And you can go back and become that person you were always meant to be. And that's my motivation behind my music always. You know, is to share and hopefully inspire others to do the same. And if I can inspire them in their lives through my music, that to me that's a win. That's the biggest win right there. Yeah.
There's something wrong with our connection, and we want to apologize, people. And Mr. Ray, what is one piece of actionable advice would you give to someone currently at their own rock bottom who cannot even imagine a first step, let alone on a stage?
Yeah. Well, what? First of all, the best piece of advice I can give is you're worth it. You know what? Because the first thing an addict thinks is, I'm no good. I'm a piece of crap. Nobody wants me around. I'd be better off dead. That's how addicts think. And that is the biggest lie you'll ever tell yourself. That isn't the truth at all. You know, um, every one of us has a story, and every one of us um, are meant to be here. Because the reality is like I spoke about this before, but like just to be born is like the it takes one in a trillion. uh, you know, uh, the odds are not in your favor to be born. So the fact that you're born is already a miracle. You being here is a miracle. So don't think you're not here for no reason. You are. And I've seen the worst of the worst people go on to do some of the most incredible things in their lives that inspire me even, and so that's what it's all about. It's like helping each other and inspiring others. So like if you're struggling and you're having a hard time believing me, you you're here for a reason, man, and you don't even know. You don't even have a clue on how much you can contribute to someone's life. And every one of us has touched somebody's life at some point, even our worst. So, like if you're struggling, man, I'm telling you, there's a better way. There's a better life for you out there. This I know. I've seen both sides.
Yes, indeed. Let's do inspired people all over the world. Mr. Ray, and before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please to listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast. because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well, geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast law 101 and mental health 101, love letters in third season, and movie 101 review and music 101 in fourth season, and science 101 and sex 101 and it's first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Ray, if you could summarize the entire journey from rock bottom to rock stage in one song,
Well, like I said, my latest single coming out at the end of the
what
month,
would
you'll probably
what
hear it in
would
there.
the song about?
I summed it up as best I could, in that song. Um, but it's like all I can tell you is if you're struggling, you deserve a better life than the one you're giving yourself. I think that's the best takeaway I can give, you know.
Hmm.
You get clean. There's
Yes.
nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do, man. I any one of us. It's not like some people are selected and other people aren't. We're all able to achieve amazing things. You just got to believe in yourself.
Truly, truly believe in yourself and direct your path in the right way. Mr. Ray Star, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And we are breaking it up again. Again, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Ray. Truly, truly empowering. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your album, your single, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yeah, you can just find me in all the regular streaming sites. You can just type in Ray Star, my music will come up. Or just Google me, Ray Star. I'm all over the place. You'll find me easily enough. Or you can go over to my website at raystar.com. I'm on Instagram at raystar1. And also Raystar Rock on X, and Ray Star on Facebook if you want to find me there. So I'm easy to find. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, people, let's support Mr. Ray Star, because if you support him, for sure more and more and more music to come. So, Mr. Ray, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
More to come, people. See you soon.